In an ancient time, when a terrible evil threatens the land, only one man can save the world.
Say what? Get out of here.
What? What's the meaning of this?
Oh, we'll just take off that broken record.
I say.
Here, hold my earrings while I take this monster down. I've got your back, darling. We just might burn down this town. Oh no, oh yeah. When you're up against a challenge and you need a helping hand, we've got an arsenal of fireballs, steel stilettos, and a catch. Oh yeah.
Hello, and welcome to Here, Hold My Earrings. Today we have Henrietta, Yvonne, Laura, Rebecca, Yoni, and Susan. Henrietta?
Hi, I'm Henriette. I'm from Norway, and I play a Color Star druid named Dalin.
Excellent. Yvonne?
Hi, I'm Yvonne from Canada, and I play Cracker, the half-orc barbarian.
Terrific. Laura?
Hi, I'm Laura. I'm from Germany, and I'm playing Byleth, a Dragonborn wizard.
Wonderful. Rebecca?
Hi, I'm Rebecca. I'm also from Germany, and I play a human cleric named Orla.
Great. Yoni?
Hi, I'm Yoni. I'm from Belgium, and I play Mira, a half-elf bard.
And last but not least, Susan.
Hi, I'm Susan. I play Moxie, and I too am a half-elf bard.
And you're from America.
Yes.
And I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Al, and I'm your DM for today. All right. Laura, would you like to give us the recap?
Of course. So after we killed the leader of the were-rats and all of his followers, we searched their body and we find a lot of weapons like crossbow bolts, a long sword, small pouch, and a whip. And Orla also speaks with the mage. She saw that she had a necklace on earlier and she wanted to have it. So she wanted Bartholomew, the mouse, to translate for her. And the mage name is Swiftly. So she asks her about the necklace and they negotiate and she gets the necklace for 5 gold pieces and a blueberry. She does look really angry and disappointed, but she couldn't really do anything. And that's also when we noticed that they also kind of all feared us or had like a huge amount of respect for us and kind of saw us as like the new leaders since we killed Chipgrin. And it was very weird because they didn't really see us as equals anymore, or they were really scared of us. And that's also why they didn't understand voting, so the tribalistic strongest wins. So that would have been us, and we needed to appoint someone to become the new leader. And we wanted to for Bartholomew's granddaughter to do it. Bartholomew's 3 grandsons died, and he thought that maybe one of them could have been the new leader, but well, they're dead. And then Dalin and Orla have a private word about her Dalin's wound because she got bit by a were-rat and it's now really festering. Cracker got bit too, but Orla didn't see it yet. Also, Dalin tossed the poisonous meat away, and yeah, they talked about what to do about the wound. And also, they wanted to get the the unknown machine from the red lady that we saw earlier, and they said that Byleth should go get it. I don't know why, actually, but then I try to get in and be real nice. So Byleth knocks, but as soon as the lady saw me and also Sponge came with me, she flees and is like in horror, and Byleth felt really bad, so she left 10 gold pieces, and the gun looks very similar. The machine that we don't know what it is, of course, looks very similar to the one that we already have. It has like handles, mechanical bits, a hole at the end, metallic, and it's already really similar, but of course it is damaged and punctured. Then Delin intimidates Shorty, so the granddaughter of Bartholomew, that she should not become a tyrant like Chipgrin was, and she will take over. Bartholomew will come with us to negotiate with the queen, so we meet again in the Purple Worm where we were already, and we meet the queen among many other people that gathered there. It is very crowded. There are some traders and also some people we know, like Porridge, the niece we met before, and who also traded us. I think it was Poops and Pool. And the queen talks to Bartholomew, and she gets informed that Chipgrin died, and Shorty is in charge now. Bartholomew really doesn't look happy, and he's not sure how it will all work out. And the queen says that those who were born Nephilin and survived the original attack, but are cursed, should be reintegrated into society and should be cured, and the one who were born with the lycanthropy should be castrated so that they cannot form a society like they once were. And of course, Bartholomew isn't happy at all, but he really can't do anything against that. So basically, they will get wiped out so they cannot populate further. And this is because they don't want the illness and them stealing resources. Then we met some traders, and they wanted to go to Graven Hollow. We meet Blue Bottle and tell him about Crystal, that we found her, and we gave him her bracelet. This is also why he's very angry at Bartholomew and the Werets in general, and thinks every one of the Werets should have been wiped out sooner. And when he said that, I think the tattoo of Karansali burned for all of us. Then we negotiate with the traders, and one orc is in love with Cracker, and they wanted to work out some time together, and was really romantic. And there's also one red-haired woman we buy, and she's not really happy being passed around. Then Porridge and her group leave, and only the party with the slaves and another group is left. And we free the orc, and he says that if we ever need help, he can offer it. And he first wanted Cracker to come with him, but of course Cracker still needs to go on adventures. And the red-haired lady also wants to go to Graven Hollow, so she stays with us. And the other group is talking about how they don't think they can manage going on, and that the one woman with a really nice silky hair needs to continue alone, and she wants to also go to Graven Hollow. And so we also meet, and it's like one big group now who also all want to go to Graven Hollow. But before we can do that, and before we get to know the way, because the queen knows it apparently, she has one more thing for us to do. Because they have a problem with the undead, and it is best, or it would be best for them to convert them for Blingdenstone's benefit. So that we get assistance towards finding Graven Hollow. We are kind of conflicted at the start because, I don't know, it was kind of weird how now the Werets are all getting castrated, and those were not the conditions that we thought that would happen. So yeah, but we don't have any other choice, so we agree, and then after Byleth uses the loop from the silky haired woman, because her skin is so dry and lizardy, we sit down and the queen spreads out a scroll of a map, and we discuss and strategize how to approach the undead, so the ghosts and all, so that we can defeat them or make them part of Blingdenstone's army. That's it.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, the workout was definitely well. There was, I think it's fair to say the half orc Cracktooth was very impressed by Cracker's intimidation, which I suppose in their society is a way to think about how they might be attracted to one another. But obviously, Cracker wasn't the least bit interested, was she? Yvonne?
No, he's not really my type.
What is
Yeah,
your
he's big and
type?
strong and burly. She like, what does Cracker like? Like small and weedy and nerdy?
Tall, dark, handsome,
He is tall, dark, and well, I mean, handsome, subjective.
It
Yeah,
wasn't dark, it was green.
he's green.
Well,
What
guess
shade of
different.
green?
I was gonna say different shades of green.
Was it more like a grass green, a moss green? I mean,
Are you saying Cracker's
Evergreen.
racist?
I'm a half orc, and I was raised among humans.
So she likes
I'm
them
gonna
pale
find.
and
I'm gonna find a hot, guy to protect, a guy that needs me.
I'm going to leave it there. Just like I mostly left that whole discussion that you ladies were having in the chat when you were talking about certain issues that I had no real insight into.
Well, you DM for a group of ladies. That's what you gotta expect.
Yep.
Hey, I'm just saying,
Exactly.
I can't, I'm not going to open myself up to mansplaining that easily. The way to get over PMS apparently is to really, you're going to explain PMS to us?
Are you feeling any breast tenderness there, Al?
maybe a sore lower back.
Little moody, I'm not crying.
Definitely
you're crying.
moody. I'm definitely moody. I'm definitely feeling
Will you
moody
cry
today.
at a commercial?
I
Uncanny
do.
want for chocolate.
I like chocolate nowadays more than I used to. That's probably my wife's
See?
influence. Yeah. I cried at the
Well, there
end
you
of Cool Runnings. I thought that was a very sad ending. Okay.
Haven't seen
Well, that was a wonderful recap. Thank you very much. And Byleth is hereby released from her penalty box, as we would say in hockey.
Yeah.
Yay!
So happy.
So,
But of course, I will continue to
take good
wanting
notes.
to do the recap as always,
Yeah.
because I'm so good at it.
You are.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I like the humility the most.
Gladly do this because I'm good at it.
I'm amazing because I'm so awesome. You are all awesome. Yes, you got a point of inspiration in case you need it. Well done.
You
Okay. Yeah, so Queen Senny Diggermatic is she has spread out a map of Blingdenstone in front of you. On the table after the tavern keep has cleared away most of the dishes. Let's see. Let's give you a little color. I know you can't see anything yet. One sec. There you go.
Ooh, that
It's
is a
big
map.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, this is a map. So, as you can see, this is the general entrance to Blingdenstone that you all came up. And this is the defensive maze that protects the city. This particular area up here in the corner has been cordoned off. It seems to be the nexus of all of these slimes and molds that we've been encountering over the last 6 months or so. This, of course, is one of the general trading areas, and we are currently here. A few of the other areas are still closed off. And there is, we believe, most of the hauntings are occurring further north in the corner there. There was, as some of our engineers who came back recall, an extension called the New Model City. Apparently some of the miners had found a rich vein of Fairsress, and there was a thought that perhaps we could build a colony around it and at the same time attempt a new urban planning scheme. Because it was separated from the rest of the city, it probably held out the longest. As far as we're aware, there are a few other additional tunnels into the new model city that are tied to some of the underground water systems, but they aren't really designed for humanoid travel. So that may have been the defensive stronghold for the last few survivors. You will have to get around some of these molds and slimes, but I don't think it'll be difficult if you just sort of take a circuitous route around it. You don't want to go through the center at the moment. We don't really know what's going on there. We've lost quite a few rangers and miners and a few other scouting parties, and none of them have come back. As I said, if you can find a way to get the undead to work for us and help improve the defense of the city, that would be ideal. There's no point wasting resources. But if you can't, at least try to, I don't know, dispel them or help us get rid of them so they're not just constantly creating problems for us. They're interfering with mining operations. People are going missing. We still aren't 100% sure how much of it was the were-rats, the molds, or these. But even accidentally, they can cause terrible losses and casualties and stress, and it's just not a good thing to be surrounded by undead when you're trying to build a living city. I'm sure you understand. Are there any questions?
Yes, you said something about slimes?
Yes. Oh, yes, you weren't here for the original debriefing. Well, we came back a few years ago and everything seemed all right, but in the last few months or so, a few of the miners and engineers have gone missing, and we assumed they were just taken by the various fauna that inhabit these caves. And then, of course, there were the were-rats, and we know that they're cannibalistic. Well, I guess to them it's not cannibalism when they're eating a prey species. which again is the reason why we must get rid of them. They have to be reintegrated into society. But we've had an influx of all of these jellies, gels, slimes, molds, just sort of oozing their way through the various tunnels and somehow arriving from other sources, sometimes above us, presumably from the surface, other times from some of the other natural cave formations. Occasionally, they literally come through the front door. Now, the ones that come through the front door and walk through our defenses, we can generally handle, but they do take up quite a lot of our resources, and hunting them down in the caves, these things, they're very, they're quite amorphous, they can squeeze through almost any size opening. So just walking down the tunnels becomes a bit of a hazard if one isn't traveling with a protective security cordon. And we've had plenty of civilians just go missing, and occasionally we find semi-digested body parts and acid-covered equipment. It's a terrible loss, causes tremendous confusion. It's almost a terror campaign because people just can't live their daily lives. And you, I think, you told us about this black mold, didn't you? And she looks at Delin and Cracker.
Yes, we did.
So we think it may be all tied together. I think it would be quite useful if we could uncover the real source of all of this, but ultimately it's, well, look, I'll be honest. Sorting out the undead is definitely the next step. But if we really want to have full security in Blingdenstone, we'll have to deal with this. And I don't want to mislead you. Once you sort out the ghosts, I will ask for your assistance in helping us bring this thing to an end. But again, if you can get the ghosts on side with the assistance of the were-rats, plus some of the other automata that we're starting to mass produce now for security purposes, we will have a much better chance of ridding ourselves of this internal infestation. You won't have to do it alone. But that would be the final step to securing our internal borders, as it were. And then we can focus on just protecting ourselves from outside threats. Does that all make sense?
Yes, thank you.
Well, so we won't be any help even with the final step if we now all perish to a ghost attack. Do you have any resources to make sure that we actually come back alive?
Well, I wish I had something extra, but unfortunately we've been losing our own people, so the ghosts have been here for well over 100 years. They're mostly, we believe, the spirits of those who died in the attacks. The original attack that destroyed Blingdenstone and scattered the rest of the population to the corners of the world. It isn't really something that one can protect against other than just being very powerful, capable, intelligent, charming, good-looking adventurers like yourselves.
Do you happen to have any theories on why the undead are still here and why they are still roaming around?
Oh, this is a good question. Now, we've spoken to our clerics and our priests, and the general understanding when dealing with undead, we don't have many necromancers, it's not really a nice thing to do, is that sometimes they're just malevolent spirits. They could be full of anger or hate. Other times they may be spirits that died a painful death, but they left something unfinished. Others may just simply need some sort of resolution or a new goal. I believe there is one ghost that has actually been quite helpful, and he's a former Burrow warden. I think he's out on patrol now. He's basically taken up a position as an advisor in a similar capacity
to when he was actually one of the local regional leaders of Blingdenstone during the city's actual heyday. And it seems as if they can be turned to positive purposes. It may even be that some of them don't realize that the war's over.
So they, sorry, they can
You can go ahead.
communicate. They can talk.
Well, at least this one does, yes. Some of them. Now, again, we don't know for sure what the composition is. It's not like we've been able to send in scouting parties and bring them back. If we would have been able to do so, I think we would have probably been able to handle the threat ourselves. But ultimately, anytime you have such a terrible, terrible event as we had here, you will have psychic impressions. And most of those aren't going to be very positive, are they?
Do the ghosts, do they act as a group together, or do they all seem to just be their own separate entities in the sense that they don't care what happens to, for example, another ghost? Or have they grouped up?
Well, as I said, we don't really have good intelligence. We haven't been able to send in any scouting parties that have survived and come back, and we can't afford to lose anyone else. So I'll be honest. You know, you seem capable, but also we need our miners and engineers, and you seem to be better suited and, frankly, a little bit more expendable. But as far as we're aware, they haven't. So, as an example, the were-rats are very organized, or they were. They would occasionally attack us en masse for their smaller population. They would withdraw. They seemed to execute tactics. They had traps and ambushes. The molds, they seem to be driven by a particular purpose, but it really seems to be just drawn like a moth to a flame to this central hub. The ghosts, as far as we know, don't seem to be doing anything other than just sort of haunting that area. They're not attacking. They aren't expanding. But occasionally they just roam around, and just bumping into them accidentally, depending on what they are, can lead to terrible consequences for those who are unfortunate enough to have the experience. Some of them don't survive. Others age horribly from the horror of it. One of them came back a gibbering mess, talking about some deep, dark secret held by some being relating to, I don't know, some goddess of some sort. Something about a child. I don't know. It was very, very confusing, but it sounded like something like a lost fetus. I don't really understand it. But they all end up having these terrible experiences, and many of them don't survive. We just come back and we find these desiccated corpses, young Sverfneblin that go out and come back and look like they've aged, half a century. They literally look like they've had their life essence drained out of them, and they're just desiccated corpses laying there as if they'd been dried out for several centuries.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but getting the life essence drained out of me doesn't sound like a fun time.
Well, it isn't. I've experienced it before.
You have?
Yeah, I aged like, was it 25, 30 years in a second?
Oh, you look great.
Well, I was going to say, what is your beauty regimen?
Well, that was before I turned. Well, I had a chemical peeling. A lot has happened.
Oh, yes, I've heard of those. I've always been curious about it, but they're very expensive, aren't they?
Well, this wasn't expensive. It was just dangerous, and it involved a dragon.
Oh, and
you
she
give me
immediately
his
looks at
number?
Byleth.
Oh, not her, not her.
Didn't have anything to do with it.
Black dragon. Real dragon.
She looks at Byleth again because Byleth's a
Um,
black dragonborn.
But she's a dragonborn. This was a real dragon with wings and everything. And, well, 3 times her
So
size.
you're saying that Byleth is not a real dragon?
I'm imitating wings with my hand. Just as real.
Does Byleth have wing envy?
Yes.
Who wouldn't?
Fair enough.
She's so
Mira
jealous.
just pats her on the back.
Sunny
Someday
looks
I'll
very
grow 'em.
confused.
And I give like a glare to Dallin, like, how dare you?
Gonna cry.
Oh no, don't cry. It'll be fine. And she tries to reach up and offer you a handkerchief, but she's only like 2.5 feet tall, so she basically reaches up and it's kind of like just barely to your fingertips.
Thank you.
And the handkerchief is tiny. It's like barely big enough to cover like one eye.
Still very nice. I take it. And I'm gonna hold it in my hand. And it's very small. And I try not to break it.
Very good. Yeah.
So, about those ghosts.
She sort of raises an eyebrow looking at all of you.
Yeah.
Yes.
She sighs impatiently.
We'll go have a look.
How do we know we've gotten rid of all?
Yeah.
Well, this is an excellent question. The new model city is not very large compared to the rest of Lindenstone. It was an annex, and again, it was designed around a vein of Faer'sras. It does have 2 levels. That's about all we really know because the plans seem to have been lost. There was an idea that somehow they would be able to mine it and also have all the workers live there in essentially a semi-separate dwelling stroke industrial complex. I believe it has a temple. It has a meeting hall. I think it even has a children's creche. Because, of course, we wanted them to be able to have their families as well. Walking, I think you could cover it very easily within half a day, even if you had to circumvent some of the perhaps collapsed structures or debris or detritus. The real risk, of course, is just understanding what's going on, avoiding any of the true hazards, and presumably dealing with any of the spirits that may be left behind, whether that requires something gentle and compassionate or something that requires a bit more oomph. But you've got a cleric,
What
haven't
does
you?
that mean? What? Um, I mean, I can do oomph.
Well,
We have the
excellent
best
then.
cleric.
Seems like we've got the right group. The expendable oomphs. That's what we shall call you.
Yeah. So when we're done with the ghosts, there was still one more task to do.
Well, if you could help us in the defense of the city against these slimes and molds, which I think, based on what you told me, is actually part of what you're looking for, then I think we'll be able to redirect all of our energy and resources towards outer defense.
This is starting to get a really expensive guided tour. We are doing a lot just to get a guide to get somewhere.
Sounds
You
awfully-
are saving countless lives. Is this not something that you would want to do for the greater good of society?
I guess.
Didn't somebody say they wanted to be good? You're helping innocent people.
I'm just doing it for the slime, to be honest.
Sounds awfully convenient.
Fine. If you help us, we'll give you a reward as well.
Thank you.
Now we talking.
Yeah.
I see. So I was speaking the wrong language all the time.
Well, we want to help,
Right.
but being an adventurer is not cheap. We need to buy pearls.
I got a warhammer that needs fixing.
Yeah.
I need slime.
I need more cream for my face. It's still dry. It's
That's what the slime
how's
is
it
for,
so
darling.
dry? Yeah. Thank you.
Well, fixing a warhammer is something we can do. What's wrong with your warhammer?
Well, one of them took a little damage, and I could use a new javelin. And you know, if you have any let's see here, what else could I use?
Looking at the shopping list.
Ooh, I want
pull
a
up-
rapier.
There you go.
Hmm.
And
want a
you know,
what?
do you do hair? Is there anybody here that does hair? I could use a little trim. And let's see now. Let's see. I think I don't know. What
She
do you
cuts
need?
you off before you say
Dylan?
anything more. She's like, okay, that's it. Fine. Enough. Warhammer and javelins. Done. And
Platinum rings, please.
we'll give you
Slime,
free
rapier?
haircuts. Yes. Rapiers. We'll give you a rapier.
And the slime?
Well, if you defeat the slimes, you can have all the slime you want.
Okay, I will need a lot of tubs for the slime.
We will provide you with ample tubs.
Thank you. And
Oh.
Lyra wiggles
So
her eyebrows at Byleth.
Yippee! Before we take off to take on the slimes and all that, do we also have this artificers coupon that maybe we could use before we go there, or
Yeah.
should we do it
Oh.
after?
Yeah, didn't we have like 50 gold off?
Hmm.
Oh, yes. Would you like to shop at the artificer's shop?
Yes, please.
Right. Well, let me go set up that encounter then.
Thank you.
Yay!
Come on, girls, we're going shopping.
And see, this is what I mean. I was all prepared for a big ghost encounter. Up until
No, I'm so
1 in the
sorry.
morning, back up at 6 a.m. in the morning, setting up ghosts and all kinds of stuff, and fucking everybody wants to go shopping.
Well, give us a coupon. So
It's my fault. That's true. I gave you a Groupon, so of course you're going to take advantage of it.
I mean, it's not going to do us any good out in the world, so.
Mhm.
and I mean we need a warhammer to or
Mhm.
whatever.
It's
And we
all
have
part of
our
our
machine,
strategic
yeah.
plan.
You know, the fact that you're actually all making sense, especially Lara with the strategic plan bit, is even more frustrating.
Orla, can you make holy water?
Yes,
I've-
the answer is yes.
Okay.
So just so you know, there is a spell called Ceremony. And with Ceremony, you can make holy water, but you have to use 25 gold pieces worth of silver.
Uh-huh.
And it'll take 1 full day.
Oh, okay.
So you'd basically have to have a whole day of downtime to make 1 vial of holy water. Now, a lot of places, just so you know, but because holy water is actually considered a mundane item, it's just hard to find because it's not like, it's not like people sell holy water in vials like they sell flasks of oil. But you can generally get holy water from temples. They do usually make holy water for their own purposes. So you could go to a temple or a church or something and find holy water for sale.
Okay.
But it'll cost 50 gold pieces. So there is an argument that you could just go into business and make holy water every day for yourself and then just retire rich. Which, if you really want to do that, we can
Yeah.
play that game, but it'll be so boring.
Leave her behind. Send a messenger back to pick it up and bring it back with us.
Yeah,
I mean
Just
we could also make
cash
a
in the
killing
dividends.
just by like selling blueberries down here. So
Yeah, but then you have to
mean,
go
I
get
can
the
also
blueberries.
I can also kill a bunch of slimes and sell the loop for hair and skin products.
I would buy. Be
You know,
like
the
a
thing
regular.
is, you've got a dragonborn with acid breath,
Ooh.
and she does produce a certain
queen!
amount of mucus every day.
The chemical peels. They can do it.
Chemical peel made of dragonborn snot and spit.
Hey, the price of beauty.
True.
Based on what I know people actually do for beauty regimens, it's not the craziest or weirdest thing I've ever heard of.
Hmm.
To each their own.
There you go. Dragonborn Spit. That's the brand name. Dragonborn Spit Chemical Peel Beauty
No,
Regimen.
Dragon Reborn. Your
Oh
skin
my
is reborn.
God.
Wow!
I
Oh
love
my
this.
god, that's awesome.
Hey, I'm a bard for a reason.
There you go.
This is great.
Yeah, most adventurers retire and run a tavern, but you're going to run a beauty shop.
Nice.
Okay. Yes, I need to get you guys a quick. So she introduces you to a couple of merchants. One of them is obviously just, really busy, and he's very keen to get you in and out as quickly as possible. But he will offer you just about anything you need. What are you looking for exactly? You just need a weapon, a new hammer?
Compass.
My warhammer was damaged, so I just need a repair, and I need a new javelin.
I need
Oh.
a light crossbow. And we wanted the gun to be investigated.
Right. Okay. Got a sec.
And can he do identify?
Hang on one sec.
Wait,
can
how
steal his
exactly is
pearl.
the Warhammer broken? In what way is
Well-
it broken?
Yeah, you guys could talk about it.
It took some damage in one of the fights that we had, and
Wasn't
I
it
can't
acid
remember
or
what's
something?
wrong with it.
I think it was
I think
acid.
it has acid. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's been eaten up a little bit on the
Yeah.
blade.
corroded.
I
Can
tried
I
to
cast
sharpen it, but it
mending?
just chips off.
Can I cast mending on the Warhammer?
I
don't know.
think that just puts two things back together. It doesn't.
It's
Maybe,
it's
I don't
usually
know.
to solve something that's broken off or something.
Yeah, well,
think it
post
makes-
first. So hang on.
Okay.
Two things. Hang on. Always post in the chat so we can all read it together. And this conversation's fine, but we're bordering a little bit on metagaming. So if your character knows the spell,
yeah.
definitely feel free to jump in. But if your character doesn't know the spell, it's like how would your character know it if you're not experts on spell casting necessarily, right? So
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
okay.
So can't
So
just try.
yeah. Now there's different kinds of damage. It can repair magic, so I'd say it'd be able to repair like a broken arrow, but this is damage, like overall damage to like it's acid damage to an overall device, so it's not so much like a
Mm.
right. The examples here: torn cloak, broken key, so that's a little bit different.
Okay.
But it's a good idea. This fellow sort of rocks up. The name's Pebble. I understand somebody's looking for some interesting items from the surface. I've got a few things.
I nudged Dylan. Aren't you
Hmm?
looking for something?
Yeah, I'm looking for a compass.
Compass.
Yes.
What's that?
A device that shows north.
Oh, a lodestone.
Oh, That's what you call it.
Yes. And he fishes around in one of his packs, and he pulls out a very small, what appears to be oblong-shaped sliver of metal, and he hands it to you. It's actually attached to a little piece of wood or mushroom, zirkwood. Just put that in some water, and it'll always point magnetically towards north. Very useful.
So I have to have water. Okay.
Well, I mean, it could be anything as long as it's a medium that moves. You don't need it to be water. I guess you could use, I don't know, urine or milk or blood,
Thank you.
wine. Seems like a waste of wine.
It does. How much?
Well, how much would you normally pay on the surface?
A gold?
Is that really what these things are worth?
7 silver?
Somehow gold seems like more than 7 silver.
5 silver?
We seem to be going in the wrong direction.
I don't think so. So a gold?
And the queen sort of gives him a little bit of a nudge.
Well, fine, it's gold. If you die, I get it back.
Okay. You have to come and get it though.
Fine. And he hands it over.
I don't have a return to sender charm. So
Anybody else? Anybody else need anything?
I have one more thing I need. Can you do identify? To identify a magical trait on a object?
Oh, no, I'm just a merchant. But if you want something done magically, we've got a whole bunch of wizards over there.
And he points somewhere off in the distance. And the queen tells you,
Yes. Well, I don't know if you recall, but I did mention that there's a whole group of wizards out there doing some work. They're mostly tied to trying to conjure up earth elementals and other defenders of the city.
I'll go and talk to them afterwards. I'm done.
Okay, do you have a rapier?
What's that?
It's a long, pointy sword.
and he digs around and he produces a longsword.
Not what I meant. Think skinnier.
Well, how can you hack at something with something so skinny?
It's not meant for hacking, it's meant for poking.
Oh,
And then he gives you a dagger.
Closer, think a bit more length.
and he rummages around. I don't think I know what you're talking about. If it's not a dagger and it's pointy, and it's not a longsword, but it's skinny.
And then he produces these two little instruments and he hands them to you. They look like two long slivers of metal. No hilt, just long slivers of metal. One end is slightly wider than the other.
Do you know what these are?
Somebody called them chopsticks.
How much?
Well, seeing as how they're decorative and made of silver, I'll say 10 silver pieces, which is basically a gold, but 5 for each.
How about 5?
Well, I can give you 1 for 5.
What about 5 and I make you a poem?
Do I look like the kind of person who likes poetry?
You look like the kind of person who likes to have his ego a bit inflated.
Look at the size of me. I don't have the space for a big ego. I could. Look, do you want the chopsticks or not?
Sure, 7.
Is she deaf?
Maybe a bit tone deaf, but
We could be here all day. I've got things to do.
And he taps his foot.
well, all the more reason to give them to me for 7.
You can roll a persuasion check, but it doesn't sound very persuasive. Which is my code of saying I think it's going to be a high DC. He looks at you, and he starts to put the chopsticks away back into his backpack.
Fine. 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 I'll give you 1 gold.
Phew. Exhausting. Anybody else?
Yeah, me.
Well,
Mario?
If you want any more skinny things, I don't have any more. She's taken the last 2.
What about a light crossbow? With
Ah.
quarrels, preferably.
Light crossbow. Well,
Hmm.
you know the drow make a lot of hand crossbows.
Yeah, I'm not proficient in that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, a
shame.
light crossbow for us is very big, so and he looks at the queen and says, "Do we have a light crossbow?" And she looks back, "I don't think so." Yeah. I don't think I have a light crossbow.
Oh, I'm so sad. Really? Are you sure?
I might
you
be
look-
able to find one, but you'll have to give me a few days.
A few days. Okay. I can wait.
I tap
All
Laura
right.
on the shoulder. Or Byleth. I tap Byleth on the shoulder. Hey, Byleth.
I'm siding.
I
Yeah.
have one. Here, why don't you just take this one? I
Oh my
took it off
god,
that
really?
rat. Yeah,
Oh my god. Is it really a light crossbow?
it's a light crossbow.
Oh my god. I
It
didn't
is a
even
light
No,
know
it's got
crossbow.
the bolts and a bolt case and everything. Didn't you see
Oh
me
my
take that
gosh.
off him? Here, you can have it.
I thought it was a hand crossbow. Oh my god! I love you, Cracker. You're so nice. And I hug her.
All right.
And Pebble
over
just
to
looks
How
at you and
many-
says,
How many?
Does that mean you don't
pearls
need the
do you
crossbow
like?
anymore?
No, but thanks for thinking of an effort.
Oh. And he pulls out a pad of paper and he scratches something off.
I'm so sorry.
Pebble.
Exhausting. Anyone else?
I have a need for 2 platinum rings, please.
Oh. Well, I just sell things, but we have some gemsmiths and gemstone miners and some jewelers in town. I'm sure they could be made for you.
Okay.
and the queen looks at you and says, "Oh, absolutely, yes. Why do you need 2 platinum rings? Are you getting married? Congratulations. Who's the lucky?" And she looks at the rest of the party. Person.
Well, actually,
Virak just
I
waves her hair.
I am actually already married. No, this is more like a friendship ring type of thing.
Oh,
Very fancy.
Like protective thing.
Okay. Sure. Yes. Well, I suppose 2 rings, 10 gold.
Yeah, sure, if that is but they really have to be like nice rings.
Oh, nice. What's your budget?
Well, my budget including begging some gold from the others in my party would be 50 gold pieces, but if I could get them cheaper, of course.
they need to be a certain value?
I mean, they would need to be a certain quality, at least.
Well, whatever the quality or value, typically jewelers have a 100% markup.
Okay.
I just walk over to Orlaith and I whisper, "It's the friendship that counts."
So could you get some made for me?
Sure.
Okay. Thank you.
Rings are very easy to make. They can make rings.
Mm.
How much are we spending?
I guess I'm spending. Wait, I don't actually have that kind of money, but I'm looking at Dylan. um, from
Mom, I really want to buy these rings. They're
um,
so amazing. They're perfect for my hair. Why can't you? I never asked for anything.
well, 50 gold pieces, please.
Do the rings need to be at 50 gold pieces?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's going to be 100. The
Um,
value of the rings is 50 gold pieces, but the markup is 100%.
So, but what about us, like, helping save the city?
The queen interjects. Yes, you will get a reward for that, and you can spend your reward on anything you want, including rings. But I can't force the jeweler to give you rings.
Okay, fine. Dylan, do you have 100 gold pieces for me?
Fine.
Okay.
Queen leans over to Delin and says, "You are going to charge her interest, aren't you?
Of course.
I mean, that's just good business practice."
50%
They were
per
just-
day.
Or
They
at
were
least
just
get
sadly-
a lien on her property, possessions, and any useful organs.
Vera just
Um,
sadly looks at her pouch with 12 gold pieces. Is like, where did I end up? Where did I end up?
I mean, I'm also broke, so yeah, that's why I'm asking my dear friend Dylan for help. And some, exchange of healing.
Yeah, there's a reason Moxie hasn't asked for
Exchange of
anything yet.
healing. Wow, that's almost like in exchange of healing.
I'm at the top of
Ooh,
your
I can cast
priority
healing
list.
word.
Yes, you're on my priority list of people to keep alive.
Good.
I feel like that is bordering on oh, never mind. Okay. So the rings are ordered. They'll be ready in a few days as well.
Moxie's just kind of sitting here watching the entire interaction, kind of twisting her fingers, knowing she needs armor, but is too afraid to ask because she has no money and just got here.
Anyone else need anything?
Yeah, but I don't have any money. Moxie kind of squeaks out in the corner.
What do you need?
I can't very well go fight ghosts in travel clothes.
What kind of?
Don't you have armor? Don't you have? Oh, right. Okay.
No, I have nothing. Leather?
Leather? Sure. Do you have
Mhm.
any leather armor for medium-sized creatures?
Ah. Ooh.
And he kind of like he comes over to Moxie and starts pulling out a measuring tape, and it doesn't quite go around Moxie's waist. Like the tape isn't big enough, isn't long enough.
Well, we'd probably have to slaughter a Rotha just for that. And it'll take a little while. I mean, we can accelerate the curing, but it won't be cheap.
How much?
He starts pulling out what looks like a primitive counting machine that's got like little beads on a rack. I'm guessing it'll be 50 gold pieces. The whole rota. I mean, we can probably use some of the meat, but that's not something I can do easily. Yeah, 50 gold pieces to get it done, especially if you're on a short time scale.
50
No,
gold
I
pieces.
I can't ask you to do that for me. Anything simple is just fine.
Let's see. Did I don't think I have any armor either, actually. Mine got melted
Yeah, me
away.
too.
I
Oh,
think
dear.
mine got melted away by a cube.
Yeah.
Actually.
Mhm.
Huh, I'm naked. Huh.
If you're
You
naked,
only just noticed?
Yeah.
I have costume. I have
Weren't you a little
costume clothes
cold?
If you're naked, I can lend you some.
It's like, did you really
clothes.
need the compass? You just naturally port. No, never mind.
If I order 2, how much then?
Oh. Well, we don't need a Rotha for one set of armor, so we could probably squeeze 2 out of the same Rotha. Oh, I'd say the second one probably costs maybe another 10 gold pieces.
So 60 altogether.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's really killing the Rotha that's the problem.
And we then not kill the Rotha?
They all look at you like,
Mhm.
you want to walk around without skin?
I mean, I just heard this great thing about chemical peeling. So maybe.
Everybody just sort of backs away.
By the way, if you're naked, I have some costume clothes that I can lend you.
I think I have something on me, but just not. I think I had some traveling
it's-
clothes.
Like a grass skirt.
Yeah.
Some
Walking
coconut
around like you're in
bras.
the. Yeah, go get a bra. Walking around like you're part of a traveling Hawaiian entertainment troupe. About to start the performance during a luau.
Now I just have the Lion King scene in my head.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, 60 gold.
Uh,
Sure, it's really expensive then, but I bought one for 10 gold in. What's the city's name? Scholt. But that's fine.
Is Cholt populated by gnomes? Well, there you go.
Well, 50 gold more is kind of a stretch, but it's fine. Here you go.
Well, you're getting 2 suits for 60 gold.
Yeah, but it's 40 gold more than. Still a stretch.
Well, if you can find a way to get us the leather, then we can make it for cheaper. But we don't have leather naturally for your size, so we need to kill an animal.
It's
The
fine.
animal has a productive use.
Well, now you get meat as well. It's fine. It's fine. I don't care. Just
and he
saying.
starts to sit down and draw like a whole like chart with like an X axis and a Y axis. This is how supply and demand works in economics.
I just walk
I
away.
don't. I was gonna say I don't think we need an economic lesson, sir. But thank you.
Gonna head for the wizards.
She kind of looks at Dylan and nods and makes herself a promise to pay her back in her own head.
You need to mark it down on your character sheets. Everything that you spent, either take it off or even put a negative amount and make a note in your character sheet on the features and traits section that you owe somebody some money so that you can keep track of it. Money does matter in the game. not only the amounts, but also like the if you get a discrete breakdown of the types of coins, keep track of the types of coins, because as some of the other players will tell you that the type of coin may also matter. Okay,
And I recommend you borrow from people who disappear. It's really helpful.
Like
Really
Cora?
convenient.
Yeah.
How much did you borrow from her?
I was into her for 100
Yeah.
gold.
She just
Oh my god,
went.
It's great.
I love
that's
this.
terrible. I'm leaving in 2 weeks. Hey, can I borrow 500 gold from you?
Hmm.
Yeah, nobody borrowed anything from Satina.
I know.
Well, she was robbed, so she didn't have
Yeah.
that much.
Well, that's true. To be fair, she never really kept track of her stuff anyway, so she didn't even know what she had.
No.
You could have all robbed her blind when she was sleeping. She never would have noticed.
Next time I'm
Not
gonna
that I would
start a
ever.
rogue and just go
Yeah.
pickpocket everybody.
No, don't do. We can't do that in this game. We're
I
not
know.
allowed to do that in this game.
I
Yeah.
know.
I know. It sounds like fun, but trust me, once you get like somebody at the table getting really upset about it, it's no fun anymore. Understandably. Okay, cool. What was I going to do? I was about to do something. Yep. Okay. So we've got 2 leather. My notes in this game are so big that I've had to start a second Word document because the first one literally crashes now after it gets to 700 pages.
Oh.
2 times leather armor, 60 GP for the linen and Moxie. 1 set 2 times platinum rings for Orla for 100 gold pieces. And what else? The light crossbow was canceled. The light crossbow order was canceled.
Yeah.
I'm still writing it down though.
Mhm.
Hopefully you got it in time.
And I actually never identified those 5 bolts that were of particularly good quality.
You did not. You did not.
I've handed them over. I hope they're not poison.
And you prick yourself on your dry, scaly skin.
And
Yeah.
I mean, she used an entire tub of moisturizer, so I think she's good for like an hour.
Well, actually, if we have 10 minutes, I can try to see if they're poison.
always these 10 minutes with you.
The queen is just like, how much longer is this going to take?
Gotta be prepared.
Actually, I'm gonna look at Dylan and be like, I didn't get this broken device from the lady that I scared horribly for nothing, did I? Maybe we want to get that investigated also.
Yeah, but I think this guy is just a merchant. I don't think he's an artificer. Sorry.
Hmm.
But
So
weren't there any magicians outside?
yeah, we can look
We
at it
should
when
do
we
that.
get back. It was broken. They
Because
can't repair it in
when
time.
when Orla last used it, she looked really cool, and maybe she could do something like that again. And it seemed to
So I didn't look
work
cool when
quite
I
good. Well,
shot myself in the head. What are you saying?
What?
you looked super cool,
That
as
was
always,
awesome.
Dylan. We love you, and we hope you never stop lending us money.
Well,
You're
it's
really
starting
nice.
to run dry, to be honest. Don't have that much
Borrow
left.
the rest of it before she shoots herself in the head again.
Yeah.
I am so confused.
I kind of
Yes. So
look down
so
the
your
barrel.
detect point. That was actually pretty good though. Wasn't that a scene from a movie? Nanook of the North. I don't know if you ever saw that. It's an old movie that has, I think, Anthony Hopkins. It's about Eskimos.
I think
And the
I've
first time one of the
remember it.
Eskimos encounters a gun, they look down the barrel of the gun. Yes, so the 5 quarrels do not have poison on them.
Can I get more quarrels from here? And I look at the shop guy. Just like these, and I hand one of them over.
Yeah, are you going to cancel this order again?
No, not at all.
Yeah, I could probably find some normal size ones.
That's super nice.
2 gold pieces.
Oh, I have that. And I hand it over.
For 20.
For 20, 2 gold
Yep.
pieces.
Yep.
Of course. And I hand them over.
Okay. Great. Anything else?
Not from the guy, but I'd like to just have a look at my companions, especially maybe also the new ones, see if they're in any way diseased. Also
I don't
checking
have an STD, thank you very much.
Yeah, there's like one of them, we won't say
Um,
who's, like glowing
mm.
purple around their crotch area. The other one has like little dots around their mouth. No, just kidding. That's horrible. Okay,
Since-
so yeah, but you've Cracker is glowing
Okay.
as well as Delin.
Um,
Yeah.
And of
Glowing
course,
in a stunning way or literal glowing?
as in diseased.
Oh, okay.
just a question about the quarrels. Do I get them now, or does it take time? Just like the other things.
He opens up his backpack and lets you look inside. Do I look like I'm carrying human-sized bolts just randomly walking around with them? They're longer than my entire leg.
Well, oh, what do you like to keep? Just, just curious. And I
I
don't know.
don't have a crossbow your size. Why would I be carrying the bolts around?
Well, you never know. It doesn't hurt to try, does it?
I
Customer's
mean, you had
king.
chopsticks.
Yeah, but they're not. Like you literally start to see steam coming out of his ears. I took your money up front. If you cancel the order, the money is forfeit.
I'm not canceling anything.
Yeah.
Gonna smile at him.
Blue Bottle is just sort of shaking his head, face palming. The Queen looks at you all expectantly. Anything else?
I'm good.
Cracker, didn't you need something?
Well, I think she already facilitated the Warhammer repair
Javelins.
and Javelin.
The Warhammer isn't going to be repaired. They actually have a medium-sized hammer available to you because they do a lot of smithing. So they actually have large hammers.
Lovely. And a
So
javelin?
that's easily. They can make javelins for you, but that'll
Okay.
also take 2 days.
Okay.
But javelins are pretty straightforward. They're literally just whittling down a big plank of zirkwood and then attaching a metal tip to it.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll do that for free because you actually need it for like combat.
Well, that's good.
Also, they're slightly intimidated because you're like the biggest thing they've seen.
And the armor is
The dragon
for
won't-
combat.
Well, they have to kill a Rotha for it. they've got hammers and javelins and stuff laying around, but like the Rotha, they don't have laying around. They have to go buy one off of these traders, right? Okay.
It's fine.
I know it sounds unfair, but you know,
It's fine. It's fine.
I could feel Henrietta just sitting there stewing.
It's
Don't have
just
any
play
like
money.
vegan leather.
The next time I say something inappropriate, she's gonna be like, "I'm not fucking taking that out. I'm leaving that in there."
Yeah.
Passive aggressive.
Nice. Fine.
Does anybody else need anything?
I just want to talk to the wizards.
I'm good.
Okay. The wizards are out in a mining area in the opposite direction of where you need to get to, and it'll take a half a day to get there.
Okay. Another question. I got this spear from down in the well a long time ago. And I've equipped it and have used it for a long time. Can I now determine what kind of spear it was? It had some magical properties, but I don't know what it was. But since I've used
Yes.
it, can I now?
Yeah. So technically, according to the rules, if you you should actually be able to know what it can do. But I kind of feel like that one particular area, I kind of feel like isn't really realistic. Not that most of the game is realistic, to be honest. Like if you use it and it's just a +1 spear, you might notice over time that it's a little bit sharper. It doesn't need to be, you don't need to use a whetstone to resharpen the edges. Maybe it just does a little bit extra damage. Maybe it successfully attacks a creature that you know needs a magical weapon. But if it's got like a special property to it, I feel like that really ought to come out as you either identify it or you come across, figure out how to activate it where the right circumstances happen, right? Because I mean, in real life, if you were given, the example of the gun, if you were given a gun, you didn't know how to use it. Even if you actually managed to, hold it successfully, you wouldn't necessarily, if it's got a safety on or the ammunition's missing, you wouldn't necessarily be able to make it work, right? So, so you can tell it's magical. It does seem to hold the point very well, but whether it has any additional abilities,
I don't know.
well, I mean, the circumstances haven't occurred where it would activate, or you haven't activated it.
Pebble, do you have a pearl?
Oh, yes. Well, the purple worm pearls are very expensive.
Mm-hmm. Do you have one?
I don't. I mean, I'm just a merchant. If I had one of those, I could retire.
Okay.
But if you want to, if that's what you're looking for, are you looking for just a purple worm pearl?
No, I'm just looking for a regular pearl worth 100 gold.
Oh. So it's not from a purple worm then?
Don't have to be.
Oh. Well, a purple worm pearl is 5,000 gold pieces, so I don't think that's what you're looking for.
Well, if you have that, I can take it from you.
Like I said, if I had 5,000 gold pieces, do you think I'd be standing here haggling with you over 7 silver? And he looks at some of the party members rather annoyingly and having to deal with canceled orders.
I'm doing finger guns at him.
You what?
I do finger guns at him when he looks at me.
Oh, I thought you said you give him the finger.
No, no.
That's a good way to get spit in your food. Yeah. No, I don't have one of those. But you could potentially ask the queen. She might have access to those. As for the pearls, the smaller pearls, supposedly they're worth less. I don't really know of anybody who has those. Are they found in Underdark creatures? Are they gems?
No, they're found in water.
And he looks around. Well, I mean, there's a waterfall somewhere around here.
Okay. I'll go diving. We have to cancel the ghost trip. I'm going diving.
Going skinny. Delin, wearing no clothes, is going to go skinny dipping in an underground waterfall.
To look for pearls.
Start our new career as an underdark pearl diver.
Had to try. I'm going to be level 20 before I get a pearl.
Or you could just go back to the surface and get a pearl probably pretty easily.
Yeah.
It's where they're located.
I don't know.
I mean, you know,
anymore.
But what's the next step? If you can get a pearl, then what happens next? Like in the middle of a dungeon, for no particular reason, you run into a healer and a merchant who's going to sell you all kinds of equipment that you need. Isn't that the most ridiculous thing that you see in video games? Like suddenly there's a merchant just sitting there behind a desk. You finish killing a vampire. Hey, how would you like to sell some of your loot?
It's awesome.
Ugh.
It's really awesome. Because I always pick up everything.
Yeah.
Go play Baldur's Gate 3.
Well, I have the same struggle there.
I know. I know you've done it. Okay, right. Are we ready to go?
Ready to go.
And congratulations, it's 10:30, so it's time for our break.
Coffee.
Half a session on shopping.
Well, it's been a while.
Girl needs her supplies.
Yeah.
You can't
look,
sit
if you
two of
guys
us
have
out there in travel clothes
or less coconut bras and grass skirts.
Yeah. Little ankle bells.
All right. 5-7 minutes, something like that.
I need more coffee,
Sure.
so yes.
Okay, cool. All right. See you, folks. Bye.
Okay. Yeah.
Hi. We hope you're enjoying this episode, and if so, please like and subscribe. And remember, the next time your DM says, roll initiative, yell back,
Here.
Hold my earrings.
Here, my earrings.
This is good. I think we only need this take.
hey.
Next.
Yes. So what would you like to do? Do you want to go see the wizards? They're way off in the distance. I mean, I'm not making it up. I'm not saying this to tell you. They're supposed to be in this. It's a dangerous place, right? They're basically summoning earth elementals. So there's a special place where you do it. Plus, for the obvious reasons, like it's kind of like testing dynamite or explosives. You don't want to do that in the city center, right? If something goes wrong.
I mean, can we go to the undead with two people missing armor?
Yeah, I don't need armor.
She can be a cat.
I haven't had armor in like 6 months
Who
or
knows?
something. I forgot.
She
I
just now
didn't-
remembers.
Yeah. So,
Apparently, she hasn't clothes in 6 months. Nobody even noticed.
And
It's a good thing all the tokens are down to shoulder height, and that's it. It's like everybody living through the pandemic is like, yeah, I've had a Zoom call like that. Shirt and tie and underwear. That's it.
I mean, what's the point of getting dressed if you don't have to?
I mean, with online classes in the morning, you just open the Zoom meeting and just keep laying there.
I mean, the only reason why I get dressed in the morning is to put my son on the bus. That's it.
There you go.
Literally. Because then I go to work. And if I don't have to put him on the bus, I just go to work.
There you go. Okay, so it's the explanation is that the pick shines are a bunch of the folks who run a number of businesses, including the sort of the wizarding outlet, as it were. And they are definitely in an extended area of Blingdenstone. You can definitely go if you really want to.
No, it's
Mhm.
fine.
Hint, hint, hint.
Please don't.
I mean, let me know next time you guys want to go shopping. I just won't stay up till 1 a.m. preparing stuff.
Well,
Not that I'm salty about it or anything.
Go fight the stupid
Ah.
ghosts.
I feel
I
I
mean-
feel like someone from the sky is telling me that we should go fight the ghosts now. It's like I don't know. I just have this feeling, this divination feeling,
It's
you know.
nagging.
Cleric, who is talking to
Yeah.
us?
I mean, Violet, I had no idea you were also talking to a god, but
It's
I
like
mean,
this divination, you know. I think it's in the stars. I kind of see it, you know. I mean, there are no
yeah,
stars,
keeps-
but hypothetical
It keeps saying $25 off.
stuff.
so
You will never find a pearl. Mm.
I mean, I'd be happy to get the ghosts out of the way. So, I mean, honestly, we even don't know if, like, after we do whatever with the ghosts and then we help them defend the city, we don't know what other tasks she has for us. But
If
it
there
doesn't hurt to
anything
try.
more than the ghosts and the slimes, I'm just walking. I don't care. That's it.
I'm all ready to walk.
Yeah.
I want to be good, but I'm not
Ah.
going to go try to save innocent gnomes.
They're not innocent.
That's true.
Obviously not.
Also, Cracker, I'm gonna like just run up to Cracker and just whisper like, so I think you might be infected with something.
Oh, great. It's just a little itchy. It's
Yeah, it's
can take it.
it's lycanthropy. I'm sorry.
Hmm.
But I mean, you're not like looking like a rat yet, so we can probably take care of that later, right?
Well, I hope so. Or I don't know. Maybe being a rat would be handy.
I think you're good the way you are.
Okay, well, let's figure it out later.
Yeah. But I just
have
thought
some
you
cheese
should know.
on hand. Just have some cheese on hand in case you need it.
I actually have some hot cheese here in my pocket,
That's
but yeah, sure.
Good. Hang on to that.
The whole party has various skin conditions.
Speak for
More or
themselves.
less severe.
Yeah, with like 1 or 2 exceptions, maybe. Okay. No, seriously, if you guys want to go do the wizard thing, you absolutely can. It's not a problem. I'm prepared. It's all set to go. But you won't get a pearl. I'm going to tell you that much. If they have a pearl, they're keeping it for themselves because it's hard to come by pearls. Apparently,
We're gonna kill
and
them
they'll
all.
know that as well as you do.
Kill them all and take
Gonna
the
You're gonna
pearls.
kill them all,
Yeah, take the pearls.
Gonna use my mage hand.
and then you complain about why you're not good anymore.
Can I just ask, what is the pearl for?
A spell
For a
for Byleth.
level 1 wizard spell, it's really good. Very useful. Let's identify.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
And the worst part is that for like 4 or 5 months, we were in a city on the coast. And we didn't even think about getting a pearl.
Never visited
were-
the beach once.
You not only were you in a city by the coast, you actually got to the city
From an
on the
island.
coast from an island,
Yeah.
and you took a boat
Yeah.
and you encountered a fishing village, and you had fishing
Oh.
boats,
Yeah. So
and there was an underground river, and there were even like underground, there were like fishes and octopi and whales and sea turtles and dragon
Oh,
turtles and
batteries.
God knows what else you could.
yep.
You even had an option to go through a portal to the plane of water.
I know.
But as soon as you end up in a whole area where you're literally surrounded in every single direction, even above you by rock. You're like, you know what? I could really use something that comes from the sea.
Mm.
And it's not even for me, it's for her.
Yeah.
Her.
I can use it.
But it's a really nice gesture. Mm.
It is a nice gesture. Imagine how good it'll feel when you finally get it.
Ooh,
If you
when?
remember.
You said when, not if.
Well, I mean, unless you guys die down here or you intend to stay down here for the rest of your lives or go to the plane of fire, which is probably the only other place that's less likely to have a pearl. You know, although I guess supposedly there's probably something that lives in the plane of fire that might produce a pearl as well. Who knows? It doesn't have to be a pearl made of calcium. Anyway, we digress. Okay, fine. Look.
There's her ghost.
All
Let's
right.
go get some ghosts.
Who's going to go to the ghosts? Are you leaving Poops and Pool, Shrieker, Sponge?
Yeah, maybe just leave them here.
As long as they're safe.
Okay.
I mean, there were slavers around. We don't want them to like accidentally get enslaved by someone.
Yeah.
Well, Blue Bottom will offer to stay behind and keep an eye on them.
Thank you.
My pleasure, ma'am. Pebble is going to run off and go work on this laundry list of shopping items. Orla. Okay. Now, just before we go, you guys are going to take a quick long rest and head out first thing in the morning. I mean, there's no sun, obviously, but you do know the difference between night and day because people do keep track of time. Although these guys aren't very good at keeping track of time. They just kind of get up whenever they get up. Is there anything else you guys want to do? Nope. Okay. Seem to have lost a couple.
We did discuss some like strategies, right?
Well, that's what I'm asking.
night in
Is
the
there
dark.
anything else you
Oh,
guys want to
okay.
discuss?
I mean, sounds like some ghosts can be helped with therapy. Just helping them move on, I guess. So then we don't have to fight them.
Yeah, I mean, essentially, that's kind of therapy is funny, but it is essentially right.
I have something
Also,
that
what
can
do you
make
guys want
ghosts
me to
run
do?
away, but we don't really want them to run away from us because then we have to go find them, which is a.
Mm-hmm. Also,
I don't know
there
how to
was
fight
something
those.
about a deep dark secret related to a goddess. Something about a lost fetus. Anyone have any idea what that means?
Yeah, I'm gonna maybe pull away my armor a bit and show her the tattoo. It's a long
Can I-
story, but yeah.
What does a
This
tattoo
is-
look like?
Is that what the fetus is? Was there a fetus with that one?
I mean, no, that's just the person who told us about, told me about this child thing.
Oh, right, right, okay.
It's some god. I mean, I'm not the expert on that. I look at Dylan.
It's a long story. We can tell you about it afterwards. It has
This is the
something
tattoo.
Yeah. It has
Yeah, don't
something to
worry
do
about it.
with Lolth, Queen of Spiders, Asmodeus, demon dude, and a lot of things. Betrayal, murder, you know, the whole deal.
Good stuff.
Love,
Well, yeah. Obsession.
hatred,
Yeah.
obsession
Betrayal.
by Calvin
Betrayal,
Klein.
Yeah. Got it all.
Somebody canceled an order. Rip-offs, saltiness.
Did somebody? Oh, that was me. Okay, never mind.
Okay.
So as for strategy, maybe some of you who might not be as tough, maybe you can stay a bit close to me.
Sure.
I mean, you guys can talk about anything you want, including what you can do, right? There's nothing, that's not metagaming. That's
Okay.
strategy before you go into combat is definitely not metagaming. The line
Well,
is if you stop a 6-second round to then talk about, oh, by the way, I can cast this spell. Why don't I do this and you do that? That's a little bit, within a 6-second round, that's a little bit unreasonable.
Okay,
Mm.
so my question to the group is ghosts. I've got nothing for ghosts. What, I got a shovel, I got this warhammer thing, these 2 warhammers, I got my longbow, got my great axe. Like, how am I gonna kill it? It's just gonna go right through them.
I have a spell that can make also things that try to turn invisible or invisible things, make them visible, which might be helpful.
But
And I can, I guess, make ghosts run away. But that's not really what we'd want, because then we'd have to chase after them. Although
I
it might
can
be
put-
useful if you get overwhelmed.
I can put creatures to sleep, but otherwise, I don't really have anything. I'm more
Yeah.
of a functional gal, not really a fighting gal.
And I can do healing, I mean, either on a single one of you, if you're like right next to me, or if I want to heal a bunch of you at the same time, I can do that. But you'd also have to be kind of close to me, so not too far away.
Oh yeah, I can also cast Healing Word.
Yeah, I can't do that, for example.
if you're going to heal all of us, you have to have like 10 minutes or something, don't you?
No.
Yes.
If it's prayer or healing,
Um,
you need 10 minutes.
Was it 10
Yep.
minutes? Oh,
Mm-hmm.
Cora had that.
Sure.
So
Yeah. Prayer of healing requires 10 minutes.
it's a
Healing word
non-combat
does
spell.
not.
that's the
Exactly.
casting
Have it.
time. I only saw instantaneous. Okay.
Yeah. The effect is instantaneous. The casting time is 10 minutes.
Ah.
Henrietta's absolutely right.
So we need mass healing word or mass cure wounds for instant.
Very high level.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not bad in terms of saving. Like if you've got a bunch of people who don't have time to take a short rest, because a short rest is an hour, right? If you think about it,
Mhm.
you know, if you're in the middle of combat, right, 10 minutes may be achievable in between, you know, one encounter and another, but taking a whole hour just to sit around in a dungeon, you know, that's definitely it's not mathematically it's 6 times, you know, longer, right?
Yep.
So
But since the ghosts can kill people, they can probably touch people. So I guess that we can touch them. So I would think that at least with our magical weapons, we can hurt them, and spells.
Mm.
I would
Also,
think.
one problem. Yeah, maybe. Do you have magical weapons?
Well, yeah, I have a spear.
Oh, my great
and
axe is good.
My claws become magical when I wild shape.
I would assume they don't weigh anything, so I could just move them out of the way with Mage Hand. But
That's assuming you can touch them.
this is true.
Also,
So
one
just to be
problem-
clear, if you post Mage Hand, just because I don't want you to get into the bad position where you think it's supposed to do something and it doesn't, you can't. Mage Hand isn't really for combat.
Okay.
It can't attack, activate magic items, or carry more than 10 pounds. And okay, yeah, shoving isn't, but technically shoving is an attack. It happens on your attack action. So
Doesn't work.
So it's not going to work. And you know, again, it's also conceptual, right? If you think about it, it's
Mhm.
cantrip. If you could just grapple people with Mage Hand, it kind of takes away from the arcane rogue Arcane Trickster Rogue subclass, which has a more powerful version of Mage Hand, and even that doesn't really do attacks.
Mm.
But you also start interfering with spells like Big B's Hand, or whatever they call it in 5th edition. The magical hand spells, which are like 5th level spells, and they can be used for punching, for shoving, for grappling. So that's a very powerful spell.
Good to know.
So we are surrounded by phasers, right?
Yes. So, are you there yet or not? Because I feel like this is like a weird thing to be having a conversation about before you get there. But I've already shown you the map, so
But didn't she mention the phasers? And like, didn't the queen
She
mention
did.
the phasers? She mentioned that there's a phasers vein. So
yes.
we would. So just for everyone to know, maybe some of you have not encountered phasers, but anytime you cast something that's not a cantrip, I believe we might get some effect, and that might be very bad or it might be good. For example, once I got a unicorn, but it disappeared.
And it was so beautiful.
It was.
And Satina went death,
Mm.
I think. Death.
Yeah.
Oof.
Couldn't speak.
Couldn't
Bubbles.
speak, yeah. That
Mm.
it.
Permanently?
No, for just a minute or
I
something.
wish.
It wouldn't shut her up.
I'm just kidding.
So, but our plan is to try and talk to the people, the ghosts.
Yes. But I mean, she also said that some might be just super malevolent, right? So they might not want to be talked to.
Yeah, but she also said that they don't really know. So
Do they speak common, the ghosts?
That's a good question.
I assume they speak the language the languages that they spoke when they were living.
I know
Which
how
would
to
have-
say hello in Gnomish, so
This is going to get.
I speak Dwarven.
This is a very good point, though. Tactically, this is a very good point. If you're not going to just try to kill everything, and you're just trying to communicate with them, how are you going to do that?
well,
Should have brought Sponge.
Yeah. Let's go back and get him.
Oh. It's a little late now, I think.
But you translated for the other ones, didn't you? You had a spell that can make
I
you
did.
understand and talk all languages, or
I can understand
okay.
and translate back to you, but I can't speak
Yeah.
the language.
Me too. But I need 10 minutes for that.
Oh.
But yeah, basically.
I don't know if I can link to their minds like I can with living people. Do they have a mind? Huh.
I mean,
Interesting
if they're ghosts, isn't that the only part that's left of them?
They're spectral version of themselves. Or are they all ghosts?
Just as creature, so I guess that undead is a creature.
Yeah.
The queen also said that some of them might not be aware that the war is over or that they're dead, so maybe try to be a bit subtle with that.
Yeah. I'm not really good on sorrow, but I'll try. But, I did a mind link with a banshee, so it should work. 2 banshees, actually. So it should work.
Really good conversationalists.
She moaned a lot and pointed, but she understood what I said. So
She moaned a lot.
well,
She's
she
a
did.
banshee. She's a
That's
banshee. So she moaned a lot.
Well, she didn't speak a lot. She just motioned.
She
That's
moaned
all
a lot.
banshees do. So
There was a lot of wailing and crying.
Yeah, but we did help her.
When did you perform a mind link? What exactly were you doing?
Oh, I was trying to get the banshee to not attack us, and then we got thrown into a portal and we met a demigod or something. And now we owe her and got a tattoo and some rings that we can take off.
You know,
Mm.
if they're undead, they may or may not be able to speak anyway, unless if they've been dead this long. No vocal cords, desiccation and whatnot.
I mean, what are the rules of ghosts?
I have no idea. I guess we'll find
We'll
out.
find out.
Yeah,
Let's go meet a few.
yeah. We'll just wing it like we always do.
That
So the way we do it is if your character has a possible explanation and you can make any absurd justification you'd like. If it's funny enough, I might give it to you, even if you don't make any logical sense. Then perhaps I will either tell you or you'll recall it through a history check or an arcana check or something else. And depending on how you roll and how you described your justification, right? Maybe the DC is lower or higher. So, for example, would a bard know anything about fighting a ghost? A level 1 bard?
I mean, I might have heard stories.
Maybe, but that's something you can. If you're proficient in it, then it's undead are technically under Arcana, but I could let you roll something else potentially. But you certainly aren't going to understand any tactical details about it, right? As a level 1
No.
bard, unless your backstory. And I'm not just saying this for Yoni, your sake, but also for Susan's sake, right? Because Moxie is actually essentially the same class and race at the moment. So, but Susan obviously has a lot of experience playing. So, there's how much do you know in person versus how much do you know as a character? And this is the whole point about metagaming. Do we all know that ghosts, can do certain things aside from what Queen Senny has told you? Yeah. In essence, we probably all have a rough idea, right? But beyond what would be sort of common sense stuff for a medieval person to know, not necessarily somebody who's in the 21st century who reads literature. So, but feel free to ask. You can always try to make the justification but I'd like to do it in roleplay if that's possible, just because I think it's more fun.
I know
Okay.
nothing about ghosts except for like ghost stories, but
Mm.
no. But like not even on this plane technically, so yeah, I don't think I can help with that. I don't think I want to, but know something
Well-
about ghosts.
Well, the irony is that you're a cleric, and a cleric actually does deal with undead. So, actually, as a class, although you may or may not be proficient in Arcana, as a class, you're actually designed to deal with undead. Like
Yeah.
your class abilities include turning undead, which literally is what clerics are supposed to be doing. So actually,
I
you
know.
have a better justification than some of the others potentially. Like, would a barbarian know a lot about ghosts? I mean, it depends on the backstory and the background and everything else, but maybe not. Do you know what I mean?
Would I remember something?
But obviously, Yvonne knows a lot about ghosts in real life.
Would I remember something from my paladin days?
Possibly. Yeah, because you're not really doing a lot of druid back stuff. You're doing a lot of paladin stuff and elf stuff. So you don't really know anything about being a Kalashtar, but you remember being an elf.
Mhm.
So maybe. Lay it out for me. Show me why you would know. Convince me.
I'm just trying to remember. I don't think we've met any ghost. I just think that we met a banshee, but she's kind of a ghost. And I also think that Cora and Satina met a ghost, so they might have told me something about it. They talked
Yes, they've met ghosts for sure.
to yeah. They
Cora's definitely met ghosts. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, what are you trying to remember?
Trying to remember if they're kind of can be hurt by magical means like magical weapons, spells, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And also maybe if they Well, I know that they can communicate. That's, I guess, only if they can be hurt. What kind of thing would
So, right. Okay. So between all of you putting your brains together, I'm going to let you guys do a group roll. Everybody roll a d20, and we're going to take the average. And I'll do a rough average. So we're not going to do a ton of math. Oh, nice.
Oh my god, what are you doing?
It's great when like the
One.
people who say they don't know anything about it actually roll like they don't know anything about it.
Not knowing
We're
anything.
stupid.
Very new
I know
cleric, no
nothing.
idea.
That was great. Well, I think we don't need to do a whole lot of math to see that that's not a very high roll on average. Unless somebody wants to use a portent. But
Don't waste
too
it
late.
here.
It's too late now.
It is too late. Okay. So, the one thing you definitely know is that just like you've met a banshee, there is more than one way that a spirit might be trapped on the prime material plane. So some of you start breaking out your stories about how there was the soul of a long lost departed person, and it attacked everybody, and another person who had heard about a story about a soul of a long lost departed person who, just needed to see their family members one last time, or to have their body buried. And you think that may mean that they're not all the same. Which is kind of what Queen has told you, but now you understand that maybe there's a difference between what you may encounter. So whether or not one particular creature, like you've all heard different stories, like one of them is like it can't be hurt at all by non-magical weapons. Some of them can only be hurt by magic. Some of them can't be hurt by certain types of magic. Some of them might be able to, resist all kinds of things. So it's very confusing what you hear, right? You've all got like some stories. There's always the story about the guy who's missing a hand and comes back as something else. And, and Byleth is just sitting there with popcorn as always.
Yogurt.
Of course.
Yogurt covered popcorn.
Yogurt covered popcorn. Exactly. I'm sure that's a thing.
Mm.
So not super helpful, and yet at the same time also helpful. Magic weapons will always work. And sometimes magic works, sometimes not.
On that note, let's go meet some ghosts.
Sounds good, but I'm gonna be in front because at least I can take a hit.
Oh, I can too, so Byleth, move back.
Okay.
I'm kind of staying in the back with Byleth and the other and the two bards.
Okay.
I was going to say, I have no armor. Put me in the very back.
All right. Two of you wearing grass skirts and coconut bras.
Looking pretty.
Looking pretty. Okay. Yes. So you arrive in this particular section. The guides help you skirt around all of this horrible, fenced off area. As you are moving around it, you do see trails of slime all over the place, little indications that there's mold and oozes that have been through here. For one thing, everything looks spotless, with the exception of trails of slime and the occasional pebble or rock or other sort of inorganic detritus. There's not a single piece of organic material anywhere. There's no fungus growing on the walls like there is everywhere else. There are no rats or vermin scurrying about that you can hear or see signs of. No rat poops. So it is absolutely still and quiet, and the whole area smells a little bit of sort of this tangy, burning sensation, similar to the acid that Byleth occasionally spews out when she gets very upset or she has an allergic attack. When you pull up in this area, you have to ascend quite a few stairs and then down quite a few stairs. takes you a good sort of 15, 20 minutes of, sort of walking up and down. You can see why it's a separate area. And there are some gates, but you manage to work your way through the gates. They've been broken open. The chains look like they've been hacked to bits. And everywhere you start to find little indications that there was some sort of a fight that happened. Broken crossbow bolts that look like they might have smashed against the rock walls. Occasionally a discarded weapon of gnomish size. The odd bit of clothing or other personal effects, like something that might have been left behind in a hurried rush. And you see a skeleton as you enter the main area, and a sign on the walls that, now again, you guys have to tell me you're doing this. I'm assuming you are this time, but in general, tell me that you're preparing something. So Susan, if Moxie's going to do comprehend languages, you need to tell me in advance. Otherwise, I'm assuming you don't do that. But in this case, I'll assume you did it.
Yes.
And you see a sign. Yeah. But remember, just
In the
next
future.
time. Yeah, exactly. Because you know how it is. I would have done that. Yeah, but you didn't say it. So, I'm not going to read your mind. I'm just going
Sticky
to
note
make it a little
on
easier.
monitor. Check.
Yeah. You see a sign that says New City, and there's an arrow. And you find what appears to be a humanoid skeleton with white hair still attached to desiccated skin. It's got some pointy ears, and it's wearing a bit of tattered armor, and it's got a shiny weapon in its hand, just laying there. It's got some boots and some gloves. It's like fully kitted out, although the armor itself has been a little bit damaged, apparently pierced through the stomach. It's a studded leather armor, and there's also a small hand crossbow laying on the side. And a couple of these are gnomish bodies laying there. That looks like a civilian. No weapons, no armor, just sort of somebody who died a long, long, long time ago. There's nothing left except a bit of dried skin and some tattered rags. And the whole area is hot and dry, like most of the rest of the city. And you all feel, those of you who cast spells, which is basically everybody except Cracker, you all feel a bit of tingling. The hairs on the back of your neck stand up. Those of you who've been around phase rest before recognize it.
Can I take the hand crossbow?
Sure. As you pick it up, the hand that it is attached to suddenly jumps out and grabs you by the neck.
Since it had pointy ears, I talk to it in Elven and say like, hey now. Everything okay?
It's we're rolling initiative if you didn't see.
Yeah.
So good try. Oh, gotta get rid of Chipgrin and the were-rats. Whoa. Hey. Okay, we got too many. We got an old Cracker. I guess that's 14. Orla is...
Oh, I take that.
Nope. Susan. Yeah, Susan's fine. Rebecca. 8. Why do you have... Oh, okay, right. Cracker. Byleth. Yeah, sorry there, Byleth. No
It's
19 for
okay.
you. Build-in 7. Yoni. Now, Yoni, I don't know if I deleted it, but if you need to roll it, you need to select your token so that it populates the turn order tracker.
Oh. Whoops, sorry.
That's okay.
Click on my token and nothing pops up. Like, it won't let me do anything.
Well, just drag your character token back onto the screen again. Maybe that's what it is.
Did you get it?
Mirror, it worked. Yep.
Mhm.
16. But we're going to make it 10 because that's what you rolled.
Mhm.
Good. There you go, Susan. Good. So it all worked out. Why is Susan not showing up?
I don't know. I see me on the turn order.
I know, but your name's not there.
I only see Mira's name. It's the only
Yeah.
name I see.
You only see Mira's name? You don't see anybody else's name?
I see the same thing.
see mine
Probably
too.
because I need to. Oh, I probably need to be everybody.
There, I just put my name in there.
Yeah, that's okay. I just want to make sure everybody can see it. I just need to set permissions. So 1 sec.
Mhm.
Okay. In the meantime, who goes first?
I think that would be me.
Yeah, speak up. I'm busy setting permissions.
Sorry. I think I would go first.
Okay.
Oh
yeah, we need to do the hand thing.
Yeah.
So who wants to roll for thing? Rebecca, you roll for thing.
Okay.
What do you get?
7.
Okay. I'm gonna say he's an 8. And he goes before
Hey.
Dylan. Okay. What?
Welcome to the club. Just gonna eat
What?
my yogurt.
I think he has minus dex, so he should be a 6.
Do you know? A lot of sass today.
Sorry.
It's okay. We like sass. Sass is fine.
Mhm.
Cracker. Yeah, Cracker is visible to everybody, right? You can all sort of see Cracker, right? Like the name in the thing. Dylan. Can you guys all see all the names now?
I
I
just,
just
see
see Mira
me.
and Thingy
No.
Hand.
Yeah, I see myself, Mira, and Thingy Hand.
I also see
Oops.
myself, Mira, and Thingy Hand.
Why Mira?
Because I'm special.
You're not that special.
No,
Sorry.
she
Great
has
hair.
the cream, the Wonder Cream.
No, but
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
literally,
green.
I set it up the same exact way as everybody else. You shouldn't be. Maybe it's because it's a leftover situation. I bet it's just because it's leftover. That's fine. But you can see everybody else's turn, right? You can see, or you can see the tokens,
Mhm.
right?
Yes.
Okay, fine. As long as you guys can see the tokens, that's the most important thing. Okay. Cool. Let me close all the sheets. Okay. All right. So yeah, Orla, what do you want to do? This thing is trying to choke Mira. Actually, I'm gonna start with the thingy hand because that's gonna jump up first. So actually Delin, so thingy hand goes first and then Delin goes. So there you go, Henrietta. Do you feel better?
Hey. Yeah, I actually do.
Small fingers. Okay. So that's all it takes. Well, hang on. He's going to attack first. Let me do his attack. Yeah. Yvonne, would you like to roll the attack on your greedy team member?
Not really. Okay. Ah, damn it.
Wow.
Ouch.
Nice.
That's painful.
Wait,
Okay.
Who was the greedy team member?
Mira, who was grabbing the hand crossbow.
Oh.
So it reaches up and grabs you by the throat and rakes its dirty, putrid, dried nails across your throat and face. And it does 4 points of damage.
Like, not the face! Not the face!
That's going to take a lot of lotion. Yeah, okay, so it'll be Delin's turn.
I don't think it's very wise to use my spear and try and hack it off. I might miss. Let's see.
What's the worst that could happen?
Yeah, what's the worst? I am going to use my help action. can I say that I want to help the person that kind of wants to try and drag it off her, or do I have to specify a person?
No, you can set any condition you want, including a general condition.
Okay, so I'm going to use my help action to help whoever's going to try and pry it off her, to help them.
Okay, so just to be clear, I included that as color, but it's not actually grappling her. It's just attacking her.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sorry, but so you can use your action to do something else if you want.
I'm going to try and hit it with my spear.
Okay, with the spear.
No,
So free item interaction.
I'm going to use my produce flame. Sorry, and fire a flame at it.
Okay.
So 14
Cool.
or 11.
Yes, and it completely immolates and just explodes, showering Mira, Byleth, and Orla and a whole bunch of just dried skin and fingernails.
Sorry.
Mira is just gagging.
I think we need to be a little bit more careful here.
Thank you. Thank you for helping me.
Oh, no problem. Is the rest of the skeleton just lying there, or?
Yeah. So far.
I'm going. Did she get the hand crossbow, or?
It was still attached to the thing, so presumably she dropped it when the thing surprised her, but I don't know. How greedy is Mira? You tell us, Yoni. Is she like so greedy that a dismembered undead hand would not shock her enough that she would still be like, "It's mine," I said.
I take out my short bow and I fire an arrow at the rest of the corpse to see if it moves.
Do you have the hand crossbow in your hand?
I have a short bow. I don't have
So
it in
you-
my hand.
So you didn't you dropped it when you were attacked.
I dropped the hand crossbow that I wanted to pick up.
Right. Okay. Okay. Yeah.
I still
So
have a
you're
short bow.
right. So your free item interaction, you draw your short bow and you attack the skeleton. Go ahead and roll a 2-hit roll, and you've got to shoot through all these people. So there's going to be a -5 penalty.
Oh, come on.
Well, I mean, look, you got like 3 people in front of you.
Oh!
Oh yeah. Right. Where do you want to hit it?
Right in the face.
Right in the face, like through one eye socket, out the other.
Yeah.
Okay, you shoot it through 2 eye sockets somehow, magically, and it doesn't move.
Okay, then I inch closer to it, retrieve the arrows, and take the hand crossbow.
Okay, yeah, you can pick up the hand crossbow. It's not attached to anything anymore.
The armor that the skeleton is wearing, does it seem old, dirty, or does it seem magic? Not.
How would you know if it's magic?
Well, it tends to, if it's not magical, it's often kind of, after that much time, it would decay a little bit. But if it's magical, it should be fine.
Yes. Very good. And you have encountered magical armor, so you know this. It does not look magical. It looks damaged. Like I said, there's a big gash in the belly area where it was obviously punctured by something. It looks like it was pierced as opposed to, say, slashed. And it is studded leather. It looks like it's studded leather that's been sitting around for, over 100 years. It's not in the best shape. It's pretty dry. It hasn't been oiled. But the weapon looks like it's in pretty good shape. The blade, it's a long sword.
I'm gonna pick that up and put it in my bag. If no one else wants it, of course.
I got one.
Bunch of garbage collectors.
Free gold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to get my finances up. Everybody's borrowing gold from me, so
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. What are you guys gonna do?
It's directly in front of me.
Hmm?
There appears to be something directly in front of me.
Well, there's a body. There's a
Okay.
gnomish body,
Yep.
and then there's this skeleton that
Yep.
is obviously a drow, dead drow,
Okay.
and they all look equally, desiccated and decomposed.
Okay.
And
Let's
this is a
move ahead.
ledge. This is a wooden bridge that's obviously in disrepair. There seems to be a large cavern.
how is the light? Is there any light down here?
Phase risk glows, but it's considered this would be considered not absolute darkness, but yeah.
I'm going to have a
So-
produce flame up to have some light
Okay.
around me. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to cast light on. Let's say I'm going to cast light on my ring, the bone ring.
Oh. Ooh. Creepy. Okay.
Mhm.
Like it wasn't creepy enough already. All right. Anybody else want to do anything? We're not really in combat turn order. I'll get rid of
Okay.
it. Yeah. Unless it
Just
gets
playing follow the leader.
Okay, well, I'm
Okay.
checking out this body. Anything on the body here?
yeah, they're a mix of men, women. This body has a pair of glasses on it and what appear to be some instruments. There's only a small dagger in terms of weapons, but the instruments look like little metal instruments, including what looks like it could be a ruler and something else that I don't think Cracker would recognize, but it seems to have some etches on it. It's got, it seems to move into sort of a smaller, tighter angle and something that wider angle.
I call Byleth over. Byleth, there's some stuff over here.
Gotta come over. Hi.
There's some
What
stuff
the
over here.
The least
I kicked the
intimidating
body and
dragon
I-
port ever.
Yeah, have a look over here.
Don't ever change, Laura. Okay. Yeah, you notice that there are murals all along this bit of wall here, and they seem to depict gnomes. Each of the images is very small. They're only about the size of a humanoid, medium-sized humanoid hand, but they seem to depict a series of images of miners, Svrefnevlin miners and architects constructing things, digging out the rock and then construction tunnels and mining Fair's Rest or something else. They're in color, although the paint is faded. And they kind of keep continuing. And then the last one seems to be, building something that looks a bit like there's an image of some folks standing around something on the ground that has runes or carvings in it, and it doesn't seem complete. It looks like, somebody, whereas all the others are complete and they're colored, this one looks like it was sort of carved out partially. There's no color at all.
I'm going to walk over to that, and I am going to use my molders, and I'm going to color it. While the others are searching the bodies. To make the work complete.
Coloring books. Great. Awesome. Yeah, as you cast the cantrip and you make it colored, suddenly this image appears And it's a small Sverfnebelin, but he's ghostly. He's translucent. You can see the light through him and the wall behind him. He points up at the wall and he starts speaking in Gnomish, which I think one of you can understand. Which one is the, well, didn't Moxie cast?
Nope. Yeah.
Which one is Moxie? This one or this
Yeah.
one?
Well,
one?
the one over there on the left, I couldn't move.
Okay.
So the one
Fine.
there.
All right.
Yes, that one's me.
Okay. He speaks in Gnomish, which Moxie can understand. Is Moxie going to translate, or else I can just send it to you privately if Moxie wants to keep it secret?
Moxie will keep it secret for now. I mean, she got to know what he says before she tells everybody.
Okay. Well, clearly this guy is speaking, and everybody looks at Moxie, and Moxie is just like, uh-huh.
Pretty much.
Does the guy say hello at any point?
Yeah, you can understand hello.
Yes. Does he say hello?
He does not say hello.
Huh.
Oh, food.
This is going to take a few minutes.
No worries. Yeah, I am sneaky.
I'm going to admire the coloring that Dylan did.
I hope I didn't offend him. I have offended people for less.
Oh, tell me about it.
I made the wrong hand sign once. And we got a minotaur on our ass.
Minotaur.
Yeah. Didn't you meet Cud?
I don't think so.
Oh.
I don't think she did.
I've never seen a minotaur. I thought that was only a legend.
Oh no. We met Shu. His brother died by a shark man. And Cud was smart. He followed us and became our companion for a while. He loved tea. He just
You
loved
have-
tea.
You have all led such interesting lives.
Yeah. We experienced a lot. I miss Cud. And we also had a ice troll friend. Icicle.
Creative name.
Yeah. He also died.
Something is telling me I shouldn't hang out with you guys if I want to live.
Your friends tend to die an awful lot.
Well,
They don't
Cud-
all die.
no.
Yeah, our last friend didn't die.
No. She just
What
got
happened
arrested.
to them?
She was arrested for not returning a library book.
Oh, I mean, my mom is a librarian, so I understand that. You might have met her. She works in Silvery Hollow.
Silvery Moon.
Silvery Moon, sorry.
Sorry, I'm not
And
the
as you
bookish type.
as you watch him gesturing, he seems quite animated but kind of happy. He looks happy. And then he says all these words that only Moxie understands. And then at the end of it, he points and he stares at the entrance you've just come through, and he looks very, very scared. And he turns around and goes, "Oh, oh, oh, oh," and he runs and just disappears off the cliff.
Oh.
And you just hear, "Ah!"
Okay.
Well
Bye.
then.
Maybe that was one of those that don't know that the war is not over, and so they think that we might be like the attackers.
A few minutes later, the image reappears and he starts all over again, pointing at the walls, looking very happy and excited, and repeating the same speech he just gave.
He's in a loop. You gotta break him out of this loop.
So, Susan, you should be able to see the speech.
I do. I was reading it.
Okay.
Can I try and touch him?
I mean, you can try. You can always try.
I'm going to try and just poke him, just touch him to see if my hand goes through or if it's corporeal.
Yep. Your hand completely just swipes right through it. There's nothing physical to touch. He's completely ephemeral.
Okay, so I can't hold him back if he tries to run.
There's nothing to grab a hold of, obvious. There's nothing obvious to grab a hold of.
How do you
And
trap
as
a
he-
ghost?
As he screams and runs off the cliff again, Moxie turns around and looks back at the entrance in like shock, trying to figure out exactly what he was seeing that made him run off the cliff.
Yeah. I mean, you can make a perception check, I guess. Or maybe that's insight.
Insight.
I mean, if you want to describe it, you should tell me what it is you're trying to do exactly.
Well,
Right.
he obviously saw something. Like
Right.
if he's stuck in this loop, he saw something as he was he pointed at the entrance that we just came through.
Right. Well, you think that whatever it was probably related to the attack.
And that's all I know.
Yeah.
So I'm not
But
very
whatever
concerned.
but there's nothing there that's obviously scary now.
Yeah.
So
And so basically, I don't know if anybody notices me move or not.
I mean, you're behind all of us.
Exactly.
But we are looking to
True.
you to translate. So
Exactly.
Mm. I'm just gonna
I'll
say
be-
helm.
well, if Moxie's not going to translate, that's fine. We'll move on.
Well, no. I was just looking, and basically I was going to turn around and say they were working on something. They thought the Phaserus was going to help with their engine, but then obviously something attacked, and I guess he wasn't paying attention because he ran off the cliff instead of to the bridge, which is how he died.
Ways to die.
can I try and form a mind link with him and try and compel him to stop running before he runs off the cliff again?
Yeah.
It's kind of more intrusive than just speaking to him when it's
Mm-hmm.
in his mind. Maybe
Sure.
break his loop. Just this stop.
Yeah, you form the mind link. And are you going to translate for everybody?
Well, I'm just going to try to get him to stop and get a connection
Okay.
to see if he stops with this loop.
So as you start the mind link, he just speaks, and it's the beginning of the loop, and this is all you're hearing in the mind link.
Okay, so he doesn't stop when he runs over
Well,
again.
the mind link itself doesn't do anything, right? It's just you're just able to speak to him. But if you're trying to say something or do something,
I'm just trying to when I see that he's started to get afraid, I'm just gonna say stop, please don't run, and see if that kind of snaps him out of since I'm in his mind.
okay, it doesn't do anything. He doesn't seem to notice you. He just keeps going on and on as if he hasn't noticed anything new, other than, of course, the interruption that occurs as a result of him obviously seeing something that scared him moments before he fell off the cliff.
Wait a minute.
When he
Did
comes
you not?
back, just a moment.
Go ahead.
When he comes back and he starts his over again, I'm just gonna word for word translate everything so that everyone knows exactly what he's saying.
Okay. So in his voice.
So, we're just about to break ground on the final section of the new model city. As you can see, there have been a few major tectonic movements, but we were able to stabilize it with the use of some magic, although, of course, the phase rest was a challenge. We think we have a solution now, though. It's actually really exciting when you think about it. We think with the new engine, we can power it with phase rest to actually neutralize the effects of the phase rest without losing its ability to protect the city from external teleportation, which will help prevent unwanted magical incursions. No, what's that? How did you get here? No, no, no!
Sound effects not included.
Yeah. Well, I tried to make
Do
him
you-
stop, but I couldn't get through to him, so I just
Do you think maybe if we make him more scared, he will break out of being scared?
What?
well, if you have the same ability that I used to have as a paladin, don't use it yet because we might need it further in, and those are limited time use. So
No, I don't think yeah, no, I don't think I would scaring him would help. I will
I mean, you summoned him by coloring that in, so maybe if you just uncolor it, he will be back where he belongs? Or we can just leave him here, falling for all eternity. Be my guest.
he is not a threat to anyone, but I also don't know if he likes just being stuck in the last minutes of his life over and over again.
Doesn't really seem to realize, to be honest.
Doesn't realize us, but he clearly sees something scary.
Can we take off his glasses?
I tried to touch him, and I just went right.
It didn't work.
That
That
is
was
a
on the
brilliant
body.
idea. If you can't see it, what's there to be scared of?
As someone
that-
who wears glasses, I mean.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is true.
Yeah, I agree.
No, we know he ran off
Honey?
the cliff.
Is that you? Oh my god, you're not my honey.
Wait a minute, who are you?
All right. But you
Ah.
can't, it's a good idea, but you can't actually physically touch him. There's nothing to physically touch.
What
The-
if we like.
But it's a great idea. I love that idea. Really clever.
I have an idea. So he seems to be scared of something right near the entrance, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm going to. Wait, how far away is that? Oh, I can do that. I am casting thaumaturgy, and I'm gonna make a sound that appears like someone is slain over there, like someone like being like this kind of groan of someone like dying.
That's going to make him less scared?
No, yeah, cause so that he will think that whatever appeared there was killed by something else.
Ah. Very interesting idea.
Will that kill the illusion? Because he's clearly seeing something.
Yeah. So Rebecca, I'm going to let you roll something that now, just especially for the new people, just because I let you roll something doesn't mean that you are on the right path necessarily, right?
Mm.
You could end up doing something that would never work, but only I'm going to know that because it's like it's the immersion, right? You don't know until you try. Okay. If I told you it's not going to work, then I'm giving you a lot of meta knowledge already. Okay.
Mm.
So Rebecca, you go ahead and roll what do you think that would be? If you were successful in trying to do what you want to do, what do you think that would effectively be? Persuasion, deception, animal handling?
I think maybe persuasion, because I'm not really I'm trying to tell him it's safe, and I'm not
Mhm.
deceiving him, right? Because it
Right.
is technically safe. I'm just
Okay.
deceiving him a little.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, go ahead and roll persuasion if you want. Okay. There is a very brief flicker, but then the loop continues.
I want to try
Hmm.
something. I am going to go. So it runs off on the same spot every time, right?
Yes, it literally is. It's like literally watching a film on loop. He starts on the left here, and he moves across the wall, pointing to various spots, and then eventually he ends there, and he looks around the corner, and then he runs right off as he's backing away from whatever it is, and he just sort of steps and turns around and runs. Obviously, he's aiming for the bridge, but he misses.
Okay. So I am going to stand in his path. I'm going to hold out my shield, +1 shield, with a symbol of Zurich on it. And I'm going to brace and see if he can pass through the shield because it's magical.
Mm-hmm.
And try and stop him in his tracks.
He runs into your shield, and as he does so, the loop stops, and you see a flash of purple energy, much like the Phasrus effects when you cast a spell that Phasrus would affect. But then the loop starts again with him in his original position. So you interrupt the bit where he runs off the cliff.
So can somebody stand on his beginning position so that that is also interrupted?
Probably.
And then he can't physically continue because he's stuck in between in between the beginning and the end.
Yeah, we can try it.
Never hurts to try.
I don't have a shield, so I can't.
My shield is not magical.
Cracker has a great axe that she can just use to stop. That's big.
You want me to chop at him?
No, just hold it in front so we can't go pass through it.
All right. I'm gonna move
Just
over
brace.
here where he shows up. Let's do it.
To see if it breaks the loop. This is a
'Kay.
puzzle.
So I hope you guys are enjoying it. How's everybody doing on time? It's 12:08.
I'm fine.
Okay.
I'm
I
good.
can't go
okay
for much
For a little
longer
bit.
Yeah.
because I
Okay.
have to study. But
Yeah.
like 5 to 10
Okay.
minutes, it's fine.
Okay. So let's finish in a couple minutes. So as long as you're standing there, where he would start, he doesn't come back. But as soon as you move, he reappears.
So he's just physically gone? He's not there anymore?
Well, the magic seems to interfere with the loop. But once the magical barrier is removed, as in if Delin with her shield moves away, he comes back.
So, do you think that this is really a ghost, or is it a kind of illusion or something that is set up?
I think it might be the phase rest. That stuff does crazy things.
I mean,
Hmm.
can give me 10 minutes and I could detect magic.
I could also try to cast web on him so that he's restrained. You don't have to do this, so you don't have to like hold him.
But does that maybe feel too much like an attack?
Yeah, I also thought so.
I was actually thinking about poking him with the spear. Just for
But he
not-
doesn't seem
No.
he doesn't seem to be aware of us.
No, but if he gets hurt with a non-lethal, not a full attack, but just a poke, to see if he snaps out of it if he gets hurt.
I mean, you're welcome to try, but I don't know if you will be able to hurt him since we can't touch him.
Well, my spear is magical, so we can stop him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing I could do is trying to put him to sleep, but that won't bring us anywhere.
Hmm.
Yeah, poke him.
I'm gonna poke him, or you can slash him, but not full attack.
Well,
Just-
go with your poke because I'm liable to just remove his little ethereal head.
Yeah. I'm just gonna poke him with my spear, with non-lethal. Just a prick.
Okay. Roll an attack roll.
I'm going to miss. Let's see, spear. There we go. Oh, 90.
Woo!
Like, where do you want to poke him?
Nice.
Just in his arm or something. Just not
Okay.
lethal damage. Just non-lethal.
As you poke him, the arm disappears briefly, and then you watch as it starts to bleed. And he looks directly at Delin, and he starts looking terrified. And he starts babbling in Gnomish. And because you've got the telepathic link,
Mhm.
he says, "Oh, who are you? What are you doing here?"
Oh, you're out of the loop. Welcome back.
What? What? Ow! Ow! Ow!
Sorry,
Ow!
you were
Ow!
killing yourself over and over and over. We had to stop you.
What?
Yeah, you were running off
what
the
are-
cliff. Over and over and over again.
Why would I run off the cliff? Who are you people?
Well,
Where are the guard? Where are the engineers? Where are the guards? Where's everybody? And he looks around like, where are the lights? What are you people doing here? Why are you attacking me?
don't you remember anything?
No, I was giving a tour to the king and the queen of the new model city and showing them how we were building the new Phasrus engine. And oh my God. Oh, by Caladarin, smooth hands. And
he's off.
And he starts running again towards the cliff, and he disappears off the cliff again.
Oh.
Oh.
Bloody
And
hell.
that's where we're going to stop today.
So close.
Right track.
Yeah.
Nothing like giving people therapy by reintroducing them to the stressful situation that caused the PTSD in the first place.
There you go.
If
If
it
we
doesn't
could
kill
just-
them, it'll make them stronger.
Yeah.
If you could just take off his glasses.
I'm going to ask him to do that next time. Just take
Yeah,
off your
do
glasses
that.
and close your eyes.
Poke
Think
him
of
in
your
the eyes.
chakras.
Poke him in the
Look him in
eye.
the eyes. Oh my
Oh my
God.
god.
His arm is already bleeding. And he jumps off the cliff.
Just
Comes
break
back.
his glasses.
And who didn't want to go deal with the ghosts? Hmm. Hmm.
The one who's poking them.
Yeah, the one who's having the most fun.
Yep. Poke, 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 poke. I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you.
Yes. Stop touching me. All right.
Oh,
Well,
with
sorry
your
about this.
spear, could you just like hook the glasses with your spear?
Well,
Yeah, because I mean, what could possibly go wrong? Sticking
Yeah.
a sharp, pointy object at length in somebody's
No.
face near their eyes.
and
You
then
know.
running.
Harmless.
my attack bonus is +2, so let's not try that.
All right. We'll stop here. Laura, sorry for running over. Good luck with your studies. Thanks everybody else as well. Hope you guys had fun, and we'll pick up next week. And I'm sure the fact that Delin is going to be late 5 to 10 minutes actually will be a relief to the poor guy.
Because he can come back
Well-
and not get stabbed again.
Yeah, you'll get a little bit of security feeling that
Yeah.
way.
Well, the only one with a magical weapon to break him out is Cracker. I don't know if he's going to be happy or sad that I'm gone.
Decapitating a ghost.
I have a
All
plan I want to
right.
try next time.
Yeah. And this is how we never get out of the ghost encounter. Okay, terrific. Have a wonderful
Here
week,
for
everybody.
eternity.
You
You
too,
too,
sir.
sir.
You too,
Bye,
bye.
ladies.
Best of
Maybe-
luck, Laura.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.